It's time for another video about an eBay purchase I did, and this one I'm super excited about. Hey everybody, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and as you know, periodically I do purchase some lots on eBay just to test out the theory of unsearched versus possibly searched penny rolls and other types of coins as well. In this box, I have a roll of pennies that all we know is that there's two enders that look really good. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the lot for you to take a look at. One of the Indian head enders is a 1867, and the other one is an Indian head cent with an S reverse. So likely it's going to be a 1908, but I got a pretty good deal on it. We'll know if it was a good deal based on what's in the middle of the roll, because all we know is that both enders are Indian head cents. We don't know what the other 48 in the middle are. They could be wheats, they could be Indians, they could be a whole bunch of different things. Who knows? I'm hoping that when I open it, other than the enders, that we have some Indian head cents within the roll, as well as some better dates on Wheaties if we find wheat pennies in there whatsoever. What got me interested about this seller is they have 99.5% seller feedback positive rating on over 4,500 transactions. And again, they're pretty much saying what we know. They don't know a lot about coins, they say. They don't really know about the condition of these. These rolls they got from his mom's estate, who was a bank manager and a coin collector all her life. All they know is that they've got a good mix of old coins for what he has found in the other rolls, and please leave positive feedback. Again, we know there's a stunning S-tail Indian head cent and a beautiful rare Liberty 1867 Indian head cent as well. That's it. It's all the promises they made. So I did the math, and I figured based on the two ends and the condition that I see, I kind of got a guesstimate on what the value would be, and I was willing to pay for that plus a little bit of extra for what's in the middle. Now I lucked out. I sniped this auction at the very end with the last 10 seconds, and I paid about $20 more than the last bid was, but about $40 less than my max bid was. So I felt like I did pretty good. We won't know until we get into it. I'm going to crack open the box next. I'm going to put on some gloves. We're going to get the tripod set up, and we're going to hunt it together. I'll be back when the box is opened and my gloves are on. So the very first thing I've noticed is the condition of the ends are not like the condition in the picture. Now, it was tightly wrapped. It could have been bounced around. It's possible that this happened during shipping, but these ends look tampered with, in my opinion, compared to how the ends looked in the picture. That being said, I still do see the two pennies that I was hoping to find, the 1867 ender here, and judging by its condition, at least at first glance, it's not in terrible shape. You can see some of the letters in Liberty on the headband. And the S ender is most definitely an S ender and in the condition that I saw in the pictures. Those are the two coins I was mostly interested in. They are intact and they are the ones from the picture. But again, the roll is not as nice as I thought it was based on the pictures that I saw. Looks pretty loose and even peeled up and maybe set back down. Again, it was shipped. It did move around, I'm sure, a little bit, and that could be part of that reason. We won't know until we get into it. Now let me get the tripod set up, and we'll take a look to see what kind of goodies, or not, are in this roll. So I think we'll start by opening up the 1867 end first. And again, I'm going to be careful here not to touch the penny at all. But I want to do this live. And as you can see, it peels up pretty easily, which tells me that this end has been hand wrapped before. Now, he did claim it's from his mom's collection, and it's possible she just put pennies in these rolls over the years, and that's why it's like this. But still, it did look a lot better wrapped in the picture when I was bidding on it. All right. I think that's pretty much how we want it to go. And now we've got it opened up. Let me just do a careful push out of the coins within it. And we'll just start going one at a time. So as expected, we get some light over here. The very first coin is an 1867, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to bring it up on my microscope. All right, so I'm going to put the 1867 under the microscope so we can get a good look at it. So there it is, 1867. It's got some definite wear, but we do have some of the letters in Liberty. And that's about what I expected this coin to look like based on the pictures that they had on the listing. And I'm pretty happy with it overall. I did not have an 1867 in my collection. It is most definitely a more rare date, and I'm happy to have it. Now let's go through these and see how many of these are wheat pennies, because I can already see the first one that popped out, other than the Indian, is a wheat penny. And this one is 1929. And I don't think there's a mint mark. I'll be checking off camera. There is not. 1929. Let's look at some more. Okay, here's a couple more. I see another Indian, so that makes me happy. The next one, I believe, was in 1930. Confirmed under the scope, 1930. So 1929 and 1930. The next Indian head. And look at that. 1863. And it looks like it might even have some of the letters in Liberty as well. Well, it does, but it's pretty corroded. It's pretty corroded, but it's still an 1863. And you can't get mad at that. You can barely make out some of the letters in Liberty, but there's some extensive corrosion on this one. Still, I'll take it. We'll cover key dates and other things like that once we've gone through the whole roll. I'll give you guys better close-ups of each penny or cent as we encounter them. All right, let's go with the next one. And it's another Indian. And this one is a 1906. We've got an wheat cent here. 1951 out of Denver. And it looks like we might have another Indian head coming out. And this is going to be in 1880s, I believe. Yeah, in 1885. Not in the best shape, but not in terrible shape. A wheat penny. Another 1929. $1952 Denver. We got a Flying Eagle. 1858 Flying Eagle. It is heavily corroded, but it's always good to see an 1858 Flying Eagle in the roll. Was not expecting that. Always a nice surprise. We'll take that for sure. A 1956 Denver. A 1934 Philly. We've got another Indian head here. 1902. Looks like it's going to be a 1939 S. Next up, 1938 Denver. 42 Philly. And then a 1930 Philadelphia. A 1943 D. And that is some odd toning on that one. For sure. 43D. Should be steel. Let's just double check it. And it is. So 43D, that has some seriously odd toning. Very interesting. But it's steel all day. And then we have a I think that says 1926 Denver. I'll put it under the scope to double check. Yeah, 1926 Denver. Had it been a 1926S, that would have been very nice. But 26 Denver, I'll take it. Next up, a 1910 Philadelphia. A 1937 Philadelphia. '55 Denver. Another 1929 Philly. '56 Denver. '38 Philly. We've got another Indian head cent here. 1902. Pretty slick. Another 1910 out of Philadelphia. '35S. '56D. A 1924 Philadelphia. I'll just check it under the scope and confirm. Yep, 24 Philadelphia. A 1936, which I will need to check for any doubling. And I don't see it on this one. Figured I'd look anyway. A 1919S. A 1917D. Nice to see a teens with a mint mark. That's not a 1919. Another 1930 out of Philly. A 37 out of Philly. Got to be getting closer to the end of the roll here, so I'll try to slide them out. A 1925. A 51D. Feels like a fatter Indian head cent, and it is 1861. Not that bad a shape, to be honest. Yeah, full Liberty there. We'll take that one. A 1939. A 52 Philly. $39S. Another Indian head set. 1901. $36 Denver. $19.20 Philly. Got another steel cent. 1943 out of Denver. Obviously, this one will be steel as well. $34 Philly. $19.14. Would have loved to have seen a Denver mint on that bad boy. $52 Denver. $30 Philly. $39S. Common 44P. And then the final one in the roll. So we definitely can see the S mint mark on it. Little bit of rim damage as I expected. But not terrible. And now, is it an 8 or could it be an 09? 1908. 1908. Let me just get some of this stuff off here. 1908 Indian head cent. San Francisco minted. It does have some of the, well, most of the Liberty. Details not the best, but not terrible. Still a pretty nice coin overall. Now that I've gone through them, let me get them stacked up. And I'm not going to cover the wheat pennies, but I think we'll cover the Flying Eagle and the Indian head cents. So this 1858 Flying Eagle is corroded, and it's really pretty much at best G4 condition. The good news is an 1858 Flying Eagle cent, even in G4 condition, is probably a $20 to $25 coin. So we're not too upset about that. The rest of these, 1885, 1901, both 1902s and the 1906 are really common. A few bucks a piece. Nothing special. I guess the 1885 could be a little bit more. Obviously, in G4 condition, this is about an $8 coin. And judging by what I see here, it's slightly better than G4. It might be VG8, but it does have some corrosion. Either way, $5 to $10 tops for this one. So nothing to write home about. The rest of these only a few bucks a piece. Now we move on to the older ones. This 1861, that's a good find. I wasn't expecting that. There's it's a better date. Even in G4 condition, it's $20 to $25. And in order to be in G4, you have to have no letters in the word Liberty on the headband visible. And you can see them. Again, it's not exactly in the best shape, but you can read all of them. And I don't think it qualifies for anything better than fine 12. Fine 12 means that you can see all of the word Liberty in the headband. If it was very fine, it would only be slight wear. But based on the wear points on this, it's probably a fine 12. And in fine 12, this is about a $40 penny. So this is one of the better finds of the hunt as well. I'll definitely take an 1861. Fatty to boot. in fine 12 condition. The 1863 is not necessarily a better date. They almost did 50 million of these as far as mintage. But based on this condition, and I'll kind of zoom in a little bit here, it also would have been in fine condition. However, because it has some corrosion, in my opinion, this is probably just very good 8. Right around very good 8. It looks better than that, but when you zoom in, you can see it's got some of that sandpapering mark, some of that corrosion going on. So I would say it's probably very good 8 condition, and that puts it right around $15 or so. So I'm happy for it. The 1867, obviously this is a much more rare date to find. 1867 had less than 10 million minted, and even in good 4 condition, it's a $50 coin. Now, we can clearly see some of the letters in Liberty. It does have a lot of wear right in this area right here and some scratches, but I'm still overall happy with it. I would say it's probably right around VG8 in this condition, and an 1867 in VG8's right around 70 bucks, 65 to 70 bucks, and I'm pretty sure I can get 60 bucks for this coin if I were to sell it all day. The back has some good toning, some pretty good detail as well. The rim is not as damaged as I thought, but it does have some circulation dings for sure. To any extent, I don't have an 1867, and this is a pretty good example to add to the album, and I'll take it. Probably $60, $70 coin all day. The find of the roll, which is the whole reason why I bid on it other than the 1867, is this 1908. You can clearly see the word Liberty, and that's in pretty good shape. Based on my assessment, even despite some of the scratches that you could see above his headdress in United States of America, it's still a really nice coin. Really good details on it. The back is also pretty nice, as you can see. Very clean overall. Good eye appeal. I'm happy with it. I would say in this condition that it's definitely, in my opinion, right around fine 12. Could even be fine 15. Either way, a 1908S in fine 12 condition is roughly a $125 coin. And again, maybe it stretches to a fine 15 for 125, but it's still a really nice coin. And again, I didn't even have one. I'm sure you guys out there that are more experts on grading Indian head cents than I am can probably shed some light on them, but I'm happy overall with this coin. So at the end of the day, we got a $20 Flying Eagle, $5 1885, probably a $25 1861, a $15 1863, a $70 1867, and a $125-ish 1908S. On top of that, we got a bunch of wheat pennies we can add to the collection. And so when I look at the price I paid for this roll with the value I got, we were probably just over break even if I were to sell them, but I didn't buy them to sell them. I bought them to put to the collection. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me open up this eBay purchase on this vintage roll. Again, we got more Indian head cents than I was guaranteed. We even got a Flying Eagle. I'm happy. I'm glad that I purchased it, and I'm happy to add these coins to my collection. If you enjoyed watching this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.